Imagine this, you're 9 years old, fast asleep, when suddenly you find yourself in a strange, vivid dream. Before you stands a wild crowd of boys, shouting, fighting, cursing. Then, out of the chaos, a man appears, majestic, radiant. His voice is calm but powerful, not with blows, but with kindness. You will conquer these friends of yours. And beside him, a woman, luminous and motherly, whispers, be strong, humble, and robust. When the time comes, you will understand everything. This was a dream that would change the life of a boy named John Bosco forever.
Saint Stories.
John was born in 1815 in a tiny village in Italy during a time of war, famine, and hardship. His father died when he was only 2, leaving his mother, Margherita, to raise him and his brothers alone. Life was not kind on the Boscos. They worked the fields from dawn till dusk, barely scraping by. But even in their poverty, Mama Margherita never turned away a beggar at the door. And young John, he watched, he learned. Then, one day, John saw something that left him in awe, a traveling circus. The way the acrobats tumbled through the air, the way the magician made objects vanish and disappear. It was as if they held the secrets of the universe in their hands. That night, an idea took root. He could gather people, hold their attention, and then he could teach them something even greater, the love of God. So John practiced. Every spare moment he honed his skills, juggling, performing sleight of hand, mastering the art of storytelling. And when he was ready, he put on a show for the village kids. But there was a twist. The payment for his show was reciting the rosary, and at the end of every performance, he would share a lesson from scripture. The children listened, they laughed, and they prayed. But dreaming big comes with a price. John longed to be a priest, but education wasn't an option for a poor farmer's son. His older brother scorned him, even beat him, insisting, you are a farmer like us, forget this foolishness. But John wouldn't let go of his calling. He left home at just 12 years old, searching for work that would let him study. He labored in vineyards, toiled in workshops, and never stopped reading by candlelight. Eventually, he found a mentor, Father Joseph Cafasso, a priest who believed in him, and with his help, John entered the seminary. After 6 long years, he was finally ordained a priest. Now, as Father Bosco, he traveled in Turin, a city bursting with factories, slums, and children. Thousands of them abandoned, lost, forced into grueling labor, or worst, locked away in prison. One visit to the jail changed everything. There, among hardened criminals, he saw boys as young as 12. Their eyes were empty, their futures doomed. And in that moment, John knew these are the boys from his dreams. This was his mission. He didn't wait for them to come to church. He went to them. He met them in the streets, in the factories, and at the prisons. He performed magic tricks to make them laugh, shared meals to make them feel safe, and told them stories to teach them hope. Slowly they came, first a few, then dozens, then hundreds. But the city authorities saw him as a threat. Priests accused him of stealing their parishioners. The police tried to shut him down. They even sent men to kill him. One night, as he was walking home, he felt a shadow move behind him. A dagger glinted in the moonlight. But before the assassin could strike, a great black dog, an enormous beast, appeared from nowhere, growling and snapping, and chased the attacker away. This dog, which John named Grigio, would mysteriously appear many more times, always when his life was in danger. A guardian, an angel, no one could really explain it. Despite the dangers, John pressed on. He and his mother, now known as Mama Margarita, took in hundreds of homeless boys, giving them food, shelter, and education. But he wanted more for them. In the cruel factories, children were treated like machines, worked to exhaustion, and beaten without mercy. John fought for them, negotiating contracts that protected young apprentices, ensuring that they had fair treatment, rest, and education. It was a radical idea, a battle against the system itself. But he won. John didn't just save boys from the street, he raised up priests, teachers, and leaders. In 1859, he founded the Salesians, a religious order dedicated to education and care for the young. His work spread across Italy and then the world. By the time of his death in 1888, thousands of children had found hope because of him. But his story didn't end there. The world called for his canonization. Pope Pius VI, who had known him personally, declared him a saint in 1934. And today, his spirit lives on in schools, orphanages, and youth centers around the globe. Maybe you felt like those boys in the streets, forgotten, unwanted, lost. Maybe you know what it's like to be told your dreams are impossible. But if St. John Bosco's life teaches us anything, it is this. No one is beyond hope. No one is beyond love. And the smallest acts of kindness, the simple choice to care, can change the world. So, what would you do with your dream? If this story inspired you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, kindness, not force, will conquer the world. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.